This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'll let you pop it. Andre, Andre, it's you. I can't hear you. You're on mute. You still on mute. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the RMC support group for September 2023. Glad to see everyone today. Um, Hopefully everyone is doing well. So hopefully we can share some thoughts and questions, any concerns, anything like that. We're gonna feel free to share tonight. Um, I guess I just want to share something. So I got a CT scan last month or whatever. So I get them every 6 months now. Um, Everything is still clear. So October is my 3 year mark since I got my first clear scan. So very excited about that. Um, go back in 6 more months. So um, everything's been going pretty steady for me. So um, just living proof that this thing can be beat. So wanted to start the evening off on a good note here.
Thank
Um,
you for that.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So we're just gonna go around. We're gonna if you have anything you want to share, any questions or comments, please feel free to share. We're gonna start with Mr. Ron. Do you have anything you want to share with us tonight? Any questions or concerns?
Um, no, I was actually formulating some thoughts earlier, concerning something that's really frustrates me, which is um, sometimes doubting the expertise of the healthcare system in Indiana. And really what I'm getting at, to be more precise, is a couple of times, I've heard a physician say, "Well, that's not what I was expecting." Well, to me, it seems like, with that kind of science and expertise, you really should know what the outcome is going to be, or pretty close to it. I'm seeing things like Julia being treated for one thing and she doesn't have it. For an example, they were treating Julia for pneumonia. Well, Julia didn't have pneumonia, and and so I'm thinking, while we're going through these um, air error scenarios, Julia is still getting sick, and the symptoms need to be addressed more directly and correctly. Um, and so, of course, I always ask Julia, has she been in touch with you, Richie, or someone else there in Houston to make sure that what they're doing in Indiana is the right thing to do? I'm losing confidence with Indiana.
And I would like to say something. That's when it come in is being an advocate for your loved one. So often physicians, it's not so much what they say, is how they say it. And oftentimes we don't question what they're doing because we believe they're doing the right thing. And that's not always the case. Um, Julie and I stay in contact, and my question always is, are they definitely talking to Dr. Masal here in Houston or Dr. Tanier, because we want to make sure the treatment that they're giving her is appropriate. So I would say feel free anytime you're there. It's okay to question. It's okay to ask questions, when you're there, because that's your daughter. And you are the one that have to be an advocate for her. And I think Aisha and Lois and even Andre, I mean, can testify to that. How important it is to speak up. When they see that you mean business, trust me, they're going to think about things before they do it and have a reason for doing what they do. So often our physicians aren't familiar with treating renal medullary carcinoma, and then they work in this silo because they feel that they're up there with God and don't want to reach out to the experts. And that chain we must break. And if it means something is going wrong, you contact me. I can get in contact with Dr. Masal, right away. I mean, he answers my calls. So, Mr. West, I can give you my number and you can feel free to call me. If Julie is not jumping the way you want her to jump, you can jump over her and call me. Okay, I can give you my number. I'll
Okay.
put it in the chat. You familiar with the chat? I
Yes,
know
I am.
Julia has it, but I'll
Hey,
I'll
that's dangerous, Miss Ritchie. That's dangerous.
that's okay. That's what I'm here for. Because I've walked in his shoes, so I know how he feels. That's okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna put it in the chat.
I'll remind her of best behavior.
Okay. That's my 2 cents. If anyone else want to chime in, I'm certainly not gonna take over.
I say a few words. I mean, in my case, so when I got diagnosed with RMC, I was stationed in DC, and they sent me to Walter Reed, which is supposed to be the best medical institution in the U.S. They say, but they did not know anything about RMC. Um, so I remember the social workers coming down and bringing me an article, and it had Herman in there, and it said that he went to MD Anderson. So I was like, hey, I got to get there. I got to get to the experts, and um, I mean, it worked out perfect for me. And Dr. Masal is so reachable, and really nice guy. He's unlike any doctor I ever witnessed or whatever. So he really cares about his patients, and he definitely will talk to any oncologist or anything like that on his end. Now I don't know, about the physicians in Indiana, but on Dr. Masal's end, he definitely will reach out and uh, do his best to make sure that whoever is on the right path as far as RMC. Did anybody else want to add to that, or we gonna move right along here? Mr. Ron, did you have anything else, or did we kind of answer your concerns there?
You did. I'm kind of sensing too that you guys have run into the same thing along the way as well. And but this, RMC is a very um, for lack of a better word, critical um, disease, and trying to walk through it, and all of the things and feelings and emotions that come up as a result of the frustrations that we keep running into. Um, And to be very honest, it's very scary.
It is, and that's a legit way of describing it. It is scary because you don't know what the next day will bring. I mean, because it is a extremely difficult disease to treat. But on the other hand, there are more options out there today than it was 12 years ago. The doctors are more knowledgeable. So, you know, if you were to get it, I would say this is a better time to get RMC versus 11 or 12 years ago when my son was diagnosed. And it's because of advocacy that, they're working toward a cure for this cancer. So I just remain hopeful. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry, but don't let it defeat you. You have to stay strong for Julia.
I agree with that, Miss Ritchie. Um, Julia, do you have any questions or concerns or anything you want to add to the group tonight?
Who did you say? I'm sorry, you cut out.
I was just saying if you had any questions or concerns or anything you want to share or talk about tonight. Julia, I think you're on mute.
No, I don't really. I know my oncologist here in Indiana. They're working closely with Dr. Masal. And so I know that, you know, we've taken several different paths with different chemo regimens, and we've kind of come to roadblocks on each one of them. So I'm starting like my third or fourth different regimen now. But Dr. Masal told my oncologist that um, he's optimistic with this regimen that I'm doing right now. So I just today did my third cycle. So I have a week off next week, which I can't wait for because I haven't been feeling well. I actually went into the hospital and I was hospitalized for a week after the day after our last meeting. I wasn't feeling good on the meeting, so I went in the following day. And so that's where we found out that we did some imaging and I had a bunch of fluid around my heart. And in both of my lungs, I had over 3 liters of fluids. And so they removed all that. And then I guess that's from the actual cancer. And so they immediately stopped the regimen I was on and we started a new one. um, I forget all 3 of the drugs. I'm on 3 different drugs now. So they're optimistic about that. And so I guess I am too. Um, but it is hard just not feeling good all the time. So I'm looking forward to this week break and then I'll have 3 more weeks on and then 1 week off and then we'll do imaging again. And hopefully at that point we'll see that maybe the cancer is either um, shrinking or at least not growing in my lungs anymore. So um, I understand my dad's frustration. I think maybe sometimes I don't relay all the messages that I get because I talk to my doctor and my nurse, my oncology nurse, so many times that I don't relay everything. And so he probably worries a little bit more and gets frustrated a little bit more than I do. That's it.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. I just want to add that Uh, just stay encouraged. I know my journey. Um, I mean, wasn't an easy one. Like I was on like 4 or 5 different chemo regimens myself or whatever. So and it turned out okay. So I just stay encouraged, and I know Dr. Masai is gonna keep pushing the envelope and keep um, trying out different regimens until you find one that's most effective for yourself or whatever. So um, yeah, I just say stay encouraged. Keep working with Dr. Masai, and I think he'll have you on the right path.
Yeah, because when I first started, I know my oncologist told me, that she only really expected me to, be able to fight this for anywhere between 4 months and 2 years, and that she always reminds me that there's no cure. And so, because she says she'll never lie to me or anything like that. She always wants to, keep everything in perspective for me. But I can tell you that just from being on this call and talking to others and hearing other people's stories, that um, that's helpful, staying encouraged and knowing that at least, you know, maybe we can get it to shrink for a while or at least, go away for some years. So that's encouraging, a lot more encouraging than my oncologist is with me. So I appreciate.
That's right. I was given that same 4 month diagnosis, and that was 4 years ago. So um, I'm still here, still going strong. So thank you for sharing your uh your comments, or whatever. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ms. Davis, do you have anything you want to share with the group this evening, or any questions or concerns you may have?
Yes, thank you. I definitely feel Mr. West's concerns. It becomes very frustrating, especially not being able to pack up and just move to Houston where you know the best help is, and just
Hmm.
hoping that your doctors are communicating with the doctors in Houston, hoping that everything that we can get to your status. I know in the beginning I was like I didn't have any pain. I've been diagnosed with pulmonary embolisms, so I'm currently on blood thinners. They told me 6 treatments of the carbo and the carboplaxin, or I'm probably saying the same one, but it's the 2 different chemos um, that I'm on. So I have one more treatment, and then I have a scan in October. Um, I agree with Julia. My oncologist, I'm no longer going to Moffitt. Moffitt was very discouraging. So I did get a doctor at the Orlando Institute of Cancer to agree to consult with Dr. Tanir and whoever else he needs to consult with at MD Anderson. So I'm not having to travel to Tampa from Orlando to get the treatment anymore. The cancer center itself seems to be more positive. And it's just scary that we got medicine or trials in one area and then everybody's trying to get there. It's just kind of just weird energy. But, I guess this is a part of what we have going on. But it seems like to save a life, medicine should be able to go. To me, it just seems like it just should be able to, hey, this is what we're using, get this to this center and treat this patient versus all the patients having to get to this one hospital. But I guess that's a part of the fight. Again, what Julia said, I was given the 4 months with no chemo, and they told me with chemo probably 8 months. And a bit of good news on that is that I was told that I have granddaughters that were being born in September, and the doctors at Moffitt told me to speak to my granddaughters through the womb because I likely would not make it to see them. Well, I had 3 granddaughters born on the same day, which was August 25th, 11 hours apart, a set of twins and a single baby girl. All 3 girls, all of them are healthy, and I saw them um, come. They were able to see my face, not just speak to the through the womb. So that gives me hope that they're speaking on statistics, but they can't make that call. And so that, and I have another granddaughter being born in February, and I'll see that one as well. So just try to stay mentally positive because it gets Very scary. Every little pain, anything, I'm wondering, is it spreading there? Is it this here? Could it be this? Could it be that? So but you guys said in the beginning that it would be, a fight. So I guess this is it. I wasn't feeling pain, so I'm feeling a lot more pain in my joints, my chest area now. Started taking some medicine now when I need to because I was trying to avoid, like, I don't want no pain medicine. And I'm like, I'll take a little or whatever. But, it's reality more to me now than it has before because I knew something was wrong, but I wasn't feeling it. But now I'm feeling, a difference in my body. So, that makes it a little bit more scary. So. But I'm thankful for the group. I was telling Miss Richie, how's everyone? I can't wait to see everyone because you guys do give me motivation um, to keep fighting. So I'm not going to take all the time, but I wanted to share my positive news about my granddaughters and let you guys know I feel that fear, I feel that anxiety, I feel that lack of communication between the medical industry, making medical care accessible to everyone who needs it to live. So that's it. Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Ms. Davis. It's always, once you stay encouraged. I know I got diagnosed April 2019, and I know I couldn't wait for my nephew to be born. He was born in June 2019 or whatever. So, and they told me for 4 months. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it to see him." And now he's 4 years old now or whatever. So, I just able to spend his last weekend with him. So, the doctors, they don't have the last say. So, you know what I'm saying? So continue to, stay in your faith and stay encouraged and, stay, positive, and you can get through this thing. I dealt with pulmonary embolisms myself or whatever. I was on Xarelto and other blood thinners or whatever. But once you make it to the other side, no more blood thinners for me, no more. I dealt with uh neuropathy and stuff like that. But once you make it to the other side, you should start feeling much, much, much better.
So the neuropathy
So
does get better because
thank
I,
you
I
once
can
again for sharing.
barely make a fist now, so it
It
does get
does.
better. Okay,
Yeah, the further you move away from the chemo, the less effect, it'll have on your body,
okay,
as far
thank
as
you.
my experience. All right, Pam, you want to share anything with the group, or you got any questions or concerns? I think you're on mute, Pam.
There we go. I'm still in Houston getting my chemo radiation. I have 2 more treatments left. So I mean, the last week have been a little hard. Or I got the burns here and on my back, and a little trouble swallowing. But I'm just excited to be done. I had a little reaction to the chemo last time, and so I'm still waiting to hear if I'm gonna be on chemo when I get out of here or not. So, but yeah, almost done.
Almost there. So when is your next did you have a scan, or when is your next scan?
They're gonna do a PET scan on me the end of October. So I'll be back. I'll come
Okay.
back to Houston.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thanks for giving us an update and sharing with us tonight. Aisha, do you have anything you want to share with the group tonight, or any questions or concerns?
Gregory is here as well.
Hey, Gregory, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You want
Hey,
Good to hear
Gregory.
from you.
Hi, Grandma Richie.
How are you, sweetheart?
I'm doing good. So, my update is that I had a fall
Yeah,
not too long ago.
last week.
What is it,
Last week.
last week?
Yeah.
And I was hospitalized for like one day. And, the fall was a little scary because I had to get stitches under my chin.
Yeah.
I wasn't really. I was using the bathroom and then kind of fell out. But just like with the bathroom situation, I just push on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that it happened. It's over. We figured out why it happened, corrected some stuff, and then we move on with it. That's just been my main thing. Other than the fall, I haven't really went through anything other than that. Chemo's going good. Immunotherapy is going good.
Yeah.
I've been really tired,
Yeah.
but that comes with the chemo and just getting everything done. I'm really happy to hear everybody's story. Everybody's keeping their heads up. I don't really go through any neuropathy or any really side effects from the chemo, so I'm really blessed. And I just feel good. My main thing is trying to stay hydrated right now.
Well,
But we
yeah.
know the Texas heat is rough on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just trying to stay hydrated, trying to get him to move around a little bit more. Because moving around is good. He was dealing with some swelling and dehydration, and that all goes hand in hand. So the fall was scary for both of us. I know it's scary for me, and before I didn't want to leave him at any time, so now I don't at all. So but other than that, we're hoping that we get a scan after this cycle, which he has for the next 3 weeks. It begins this week, so we will see. But that's it.
All right, thanks for sharing, Aisha and Gregory. As always, keep you guys in my prayers. Praying for the best with you guys. Um, Lois, do you have any questions or concerns? Anything you want to share with the group tonight? You're on mute, Lois.
Yeah, not any particular questions. Just happy to see you once a month to see that you keep your spirits up, and just want to send you all the love and strength. Um, and I do hope every time I meet this group to have some good news about the progress of the science and the progress. And I can't wait to hear that there are more things, newer things that come up to help all of you. And I just have to say that I feel exactly the way you feel, and all the worries and the frustration and the fear. Um, and I just do hope that all this will be passed uh, at a point. And I feel very happy when I hear that someone has a better scan than the previous one, or even a clear scan. And that's my prayers and my hope for all of you, and the people who fight, and the people who are near you and beside you. And just I want you to know that I'm here, although I'm in Greece, quite far. um, and you can turn to me and ask anything you want. I just feel part of this group. uh, Although I don't have someone near me who is currently fighting, but it's just like having all of you near me, and who fight. And in a way, I feel that you all part of an extended family now, and I just care for you. Yeah. So
Thanks.
yeah,
Thanks for those words,
yeah,
Lois. As always, you're also in our thoughts as well, and
yeah.
we're
Thank
definitely
you.
glad to see you continue to join the
Yeah,
meetings with us.
yeah.
So thank you. Carissa, do you have anything you want to add to the group tonight, or any questions or anything you would like to say or share?
No, not tonight, but I'm happy to see everybody.
Good to see you as well. Ms. Ritchie, do you have anything to share with the group tonight? Any questions?
Like I've been talking all night, but I do want to say, Lois, we appreciate you. Even though Fanina is not physically with us, she is with us in spirit, and
Yeah,
for you to continue with this group mean a whole lot. It offers encouraging words to others to just let people know how much we love and care for each and every person in this group. I do want to share, even though it's not happening right now, but Dr. Masal is working. He has a grant, and he's working on a fourth clinical trial. And this clinical trial is supposed to be accessible to numerous hospitals. Um, I wish it could have happened years ago, but I mean, it does show that progress is being made. So I just don't want you guys to give up, even though you have days that you feel like, you can't go any longer. Just don't lose the faith. Always find something positive when you really don't feel well. There are others worse off than you, but know that we're fighting for you. Denial of access at MD Anderson is one pet peeve of mine. I just wish that we could get everyone here so that, they could receive appropriate treatment. And I think it's unfair that that's the only hospital in the world that really treat RAMC patients. But I can say on the other hand, we're blessed because Dr. Masal consults with everyone that contact him, and he doesn't waste any time consulting with your physician. So the main thing is that your physician must reach out to him so that he in turn will, give them the protocol that they should be following. And we're hoping that they do stay in constant contact. And if so, and Ron, whenever you're at the hospital with Julia, ask, are you in contact with Dr. Masal? It's okay for you to ask that, so
Don't be
often.
afraid. Don't be afraid to
Yes.
ask. You need to ask and find out what their response is. And if it's like yes, press them on specifics. Well, when was the last time?
Mhm.
Because that's going to be important. Because just because they contacted or in contact, that could have been months ago. That could have
And
been
are
a month ago. Things have
right?
changed. And
And are
things
they
with
following?
you're going to realize that, you may realize that things are changing, with just how you're feeling. And it's not going to, you don't wait for it to show up on a scan where you have other people who might be able to say, okay, well, this is what's going on. Maybe we need to get a scan, or because this is going on, get a scan. And, so ask when, ask if, ask when, ask the next time you're going to contact them, or say, can you call them before or contact them before my next visit, and see what the response is.
Exactly. That's
You have
very
to.
good. Exactly. So you just have to be your own self advocate. If you can't be it, then your loved one should be. I just think back, it'll be 11 years next week that Chris passed away. And I am so grateful that he had this vision to spread awareness, because I honestly feel if he hadn't shared that with me, I wouldn't be doing this today. It wasn't me. I give all that to him. And, I sit and think, where would we all be if we didn't have this group? I know it's a lonely journey. I didn't have anyone to talk to. So let's just look at the positive things that are coming out of this and not focus on the day to day pain or the day to day nausea. What can we do to continue to fight through this? I stay in contact with you. If you get tired of me, tell me, hey, don't text me no more. I'll do more texting than I will calling. Pam, I was just on Pam. I sent her text late last night. But, I don't call as much because I don't know if you're in treatment or if you're sleeping. So I do try to be respectful of your time and what you're doing. But please, you don't have to be respectful of my time. If you call me, I will answer. I don't care what time, day, night, or where I am. I will answer. So I just want you to know that I'm here for you. You know, I'm fighting. And before I bite the dust, we're going to have a cure. So it better be pretty quick. But but I just want to let you know, in all seriousness, I'm fighting. We're fighting for you guys. I appreciate Clarissa, Andre, Lois. They don't have to be here today. Andre is doing well. Some people, oh, I have a good report, and they move on. They don't care about no one else. Clarissa lost her husband. Lois lost her daughter, and they're here. I lost my son, but we're here because we care. So don't ever think you're a bother. You can call any one of us anytime, especially Clarissa, because I'm telling you, she got me 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning all the time. So feel free to wake her up. Okay? You got my permission. You have my permission. Put your telephone in that chat, Clarissa.
Yes, definitely no.
Oh, okay. That's all I have to say. And do save the date for the walk, March 23rd,
Thank
2024. We will have our 11th annual walk. Whether you're here in Houston, we would love for you to be here in Houston. But if not, you can start getting your family and friends together and let them know they have to support you and join forces with you in this walk. Wherever you are, it'll also be virtual as well as in person. So we want a larger group. We want more states recognized. So I'm going to be trying to finalize everything pretty soon. So we want you to join us. Greece is on board. They join us every year. It's growing. It's really growing. This is a small organization, but we're global. And honestly, I feel good about it. You look at some of your larger organizations, American Cancer Society and others, that's making the big mega bucks, but they don't give the personalized attention that we give. So whether we have $1 or $2, we're here for you and we're here to support you. And my goal is the personal attention. I don't want you to feel left alone.
And if I may say something, uh, that's something that Aisha said and Ron said. You need to bother the doctors and make sure. In the United Kingdom, some months realize that
Lois, I think you're on mute.
Lois, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Lois.
There you go.
Now, do you hear me?
We do.
Okay. Yeah, and she realized that her doctor never contacted Professor Mzawel. So we need to be pushy very often. I did that with Fenina. Sometimes I overdid it. I kept bothering the doctor for scans, for extra scans, because I had realized sooner than they did that it's something that it's developing very quickly, and the doctors here in Greece were not did not realize that at the very beginning, but try to have personal contact with Professor Mzawel. I mean, he always answers. He always answers, and he texts back. So just make sure that your doctors um, have contact with him, and that he's aware of your results, of the results of your scans, because sometimes doctors do not send the results to him. And I think we should be responsible for that, to make sure that there is communication between the departments and Professor Mzaul's department. I think that that's a must. It was a must for me. So uh, I think we should do that, because not all professionals want to have contact with another doctor, let's say. Sometimes they feel, I don't know, too proud of themselves. I cannot explain that. Maybe they are too busy. Uh, I don't know. So it's what Richie said. We should be advocates for ourselves and for our loved ones. Yeah, yeah, that's all.
Lois, it's never too much when
Yeah,
you're
it's never
advocating
too
for your
much.
loved one.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's never too
exactly.
much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I remember bothering my daughter's doctor more often than I should, but I never regret that, because we had a scan sooner than she was supposed to ask that. But I knew that Professor Mzawel had asked for one, because he had texted me that we need to do this, we need to do that. So I had to put pressure on them, and things in Greece sometimes get quite slow, and we were in a hurry actually. When you fight RMC, you are in a
You have to be. Oh, you muted. You're muted. We can't hear you.
yeah.
Okay, now we can hear you. No, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I don't know what's the problem.
Now we can hear you. Nope.
There's
Try
some
again.
reason, for some reason it gets off. I don't know. Anyway, that's all to say.
And and just to tell you, Ron, as well, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it can be the person because the doctors are human. They're people. So it could be
Yeah,
pride. It could be something like that. But sometimes it's not that either. Sometimes it could be the protocol within the hospital and the bureaucracy
yeah.
about the hospital, which you may not know nothing about. So you just have to sometimes just find out what's actually going on. Because the fact that you're not, at MD Anderson getting the treatment they're more than willing to advise and to let you know what works, and they're more familiar with what's going on with this type of
Yeah.
cancer. And as long as they can give you the information or give the information to the doctor, they're going to. But sometimes
Yeah.
with bureaucracy and just hospitals, they don't allow the doctors to reach out or get the information.
Yeah.
And they may not
No.
be able to tell you that. So you may have to ask these questions to try and figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always thought it was helpful, like for me to write my questions like ahead of time and to have
I
like
think
them
so too.
like there. Like I'm a typer, so I always brought my laptop with me. And like I always had like a bunch of questions, and like that was just helpful for me, and like it's just something like I didn't forget. Or like if Carlos would like mention something like, oh, like a symptom here and there, I always would want to ask about that. And yeah, sometimes it's um like asking questions, you find like, oh, there's like different departments that can help you out, or specialists that you could talk to, um that could like help with symptoms or like different things as well.
I agree. Carissa, I write stuff down now and ask questions and have a list too. So I agree with you. I'm that way also.
It helps me and makes me feel better.
I went into the ER, or the urgent care, on September 14th of last year. Is when the first time I had any idea that I might have a cancerous mass on my kidney. And I find it interesting that my dad and I are going to a Dave Chappelle show on September 14th, the following year, to kind of celebrate and, yeah, have a good time and laugh. So I just wanted to share that before we got off the phone.
You have a sweet daddy.
Thank you for
That-
sharing that. Thank you
That's
so much. That's so good
awesome.
to hear.
Yeah,
Celebrate the milestones. You have
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
you too.
Well, we got a little celebration. Andre and Pam, and Aisha, you want to talk about it a little bit? What was it? My time has passed so fast. Tell what we
It was what,
did.
4 or 5 weeks ago when we went to dinner. It was my first week here in Houston. It was
Yes.
great. It was great to meet everyone, and as many people who could come in person, um, share stories, meet significant others. My family wasn't there, but I had an amazing time. I felt really at home with everybody.
Yeah.
You'll
It
have
was
to
nice
do
gathering and seeing everybody. It was nice to be able to be regular. I mean, we all were there because we have the RMC connection, but it was just nice to be able to have a meal and just see everybody and just be close to everybody because you don't get that often. So it was nice. It was nice.
exactly. The
It's
only one that
definitely.
go ahead.
I was just about to say it's definitely a good time. Brian and Vanessa was out there as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, we had a great time. It was good seeing everybody. I love Houston. It's my second home, so it was good to see everybody.
It was a lot of fun. So we said next time we were going to embark either here or we're going to go to Brian and Anessa's house. Oh, but it was
Crash
fun.
day pad. We're gonna crash day pad.
Yeah, we said we're going to take several pizzas and have beer. Right now, you can't have beer. You can't have.
No, they know.
You can't have beer. I can't. Oh no, just kidding. But it's always good when we're able to get together. So we look forward to that again. Oh, look like Rick has joined us.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Rick, how's it going, Rick?
I'm looking at you, man. I don't know what they'd say if you were back on the base right now. Oh man,
Now
look at him!
they
Look
was
at the captain! Woo!
They wouldn't let me back on base, Rick, with all this hair. They
I don't know
let me
what.
back on the
No,
base.
you'd have to tuck it. You'd have to tuck it all up inside there, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Exactly.
man, it's really looking good. How's that truck driving coming on? Have you got your license yet?
I got my CDL. It's going good so far. I get that going. A couple other things going as well. So life beyond the military, just trying to get it going.
That's my man. A quick. I just wanted to say something very quickly. If you'll forgive me just for butting in here, I was over at the MS group getting them started, and I came over to you. You might have seen in our reminder that we ask for testimonials um, on the Great Nonprofits website. They're really easy to do. And if you go to our website, ancan.org, and click on testimonials, it'll take you right to the site. And we need to gather 10 or 15 each year so we get our seal. And we would love to have some RMC people give us a testimonial. If you've done it before, you can't do it again, it'll stop you. But if you've never gone to that website and given us a testimonial, I mean, you could have gone to Great Nonprofits and given a testimonial to somebody else, like like the Chris C.J. Johnson Foundation, and they should get testimonials too. But if you've never given one to ANCAN, then we ask you if you would consider doing it. And just one or two would be great from this group because we'll ask you again next year. But thank you very much. I put the link in the chat window as well, so it's right there in the chat window, and um, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. And I guess Miss Alexa is not here today.
No, I talked to
No,
her
she's not.
earlier. She was
Oh,
supposed
good.
to get
Okay.
on, but there's some things going on. So,
She's got a lot on her plate right now.
right,
So, but she didn't give me a heads up. Usually she'll give me a heads up and say, "Can I stop by?" But I didn't hear from her, so I thought she might be here. But I'll hang out for a while, and so. But yes, she does have a lot going on right now.
right. Well, one thing I wanted
Rick, is
to,
there a cutoff date for the testimonials?
Say that again, Andre.
you wanted to know
I
if there
think.
was a cutoff.
Oh,
I was just saying, was there a cutoff date for those
yeah.
testimonials? When you would need?
This month, we have to get them in by the end of this month. So, it's not immediate. So just a
Okay.
couple of, and it can only just a couple of lines is fine. I mean, some of the people you'll see some of the old testimonials, and some of the people write epistles. I mean, they just go on forever. I mean, it doesn't have to be like that. It can just be like a couple of lines, but you write whatever you want to write. But I don't, I mean, we've got a lot of prostate guys that have written, and it would be really nice to have some other people as well from some of our other groups. And of course, we love this group. So that's it. But thank you for asking.
Miss Richie, was you gonna say something? I'm sorry.
The only thing that I was going to say, I know we're getting ready to start the Saturday classes, Saturday Zoom meetings again. What I want to ask the group, because normally it falls so close to the Tuesday group, do we want to say do the Tuesday group every even month and do the Saturday group every odd month? I mean, I'm open for any suggestion. We can continue to do the Tuesday like we normally do, and then fit in the Saturday group so that we can make sure Lois and other folks across the waters are not, being awake at odd hours as she is this evening or early morning for Lois. So I'm open to whatever you guys want to do.
So can I make a suggestion? We can work it on the Saturday group. I mean, I would say leaving this group as it is right now, every once a month, and
Hmm.
then I would suggest having the Saturday group somewhere around the 2 weeks later, and we could do it. That doesn't have to be every month, but we could do it every month as well. I mean, we have the space for you if you want it. It's how often you'd like to run it, but we can try and work the groups so that they don't come. They're at least 2 weeks apart, and that's our job to figure out if you tell us how you'd like it to be.
Right, because I just noticed that the Saturday groups that we have had in the past, we've had, low participation, but I'm open to do whatever the group want to do. And I think that's a great suggestion, like 2 weeks after the Tuesday to keep it from being back to back. But, we want to hear from you. This is your meeting. Oh, cute doggy.
Uh, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Maybe I should pass on this information to Diana and Nicola, who are in the UK, to see what they think. So you suggest that will be going on every month, 2 weeks after the Tuesday meeting, right? Did I get that right?
Well, right now, Lois, what we're doing is having the Saturday group meeting every other month.
Every
Now,
other, yeah.
every other month. Now, that's strictly up to you guys. If you want to meet on Saturday every month and still meet on Tuesday every month,
Okay.
I'm okay with it. So it's whatever you guys want.
Yeah,
We don't, it's
maybe
your meeting.
maybe we are not many people in the Mediterranean zone, so might be too much. I mean, it might be maybe too much for you to appear on an extra Saturday every month. I don't know, or maybe I don't know how, if it's easy for you as well, let's say to be on Saturday as well every month. Um,
Can we start where we do every every Tuesday like we are doing now, and try to start with every month on Saturday? And if every month on Saturday begins to be too much, or you're not getting the attendance that we need,
yeah,
or then we
yeah,
could
we can,
cut back to every other month.
yeah, we can change that,
That,
right?
that's a good suggestion, Julia. I mean, what I'm thinking is that if we had a regular meeting on a Saturday, you might get more of the European contingent, the people in England and the people in Greece and elsewhere, if they knew that it was going to be a regular meeting. And so I think that speaking to Diane and speaking to Nicola is a
Yeah,
really great idea, Lois. And if you don't mind doing that, and then
yeah. I'll ask them, and maybe they could contact you, Chris or Richie or
Alexa,
Alexa. Yeah,
Alexa, and
Alexa. Okay.
I'll put it in the chat window, Alexa at ancan.org. And so if you let Alexa know, because she's the queen for organizing all of this, and I'll back her up
Yeah.
if need be. But let's just let
Because,
Alexa.
yeah, from what I've heard from Diana, there might be at least one or maybe two more people with RMC. battling
Right.
at the moment. One from Glasgow, I think, in
Okay.
Scotland. I'm not sure about the other guy. So there might be some interest in Europe as well. It might be more convenient for them as far as the time zone is concerned. So I'll ask Diana and Nicole to contact Alexa and present their suggestions for Saturdays.
Right. I think
Okay.
that would be great. Now, just bear in mind that probably sh- Miss Ritchie, what is the earliest for you that you would on a Saturday? Because we gotta take that into account too. So, what time central would be the earliest you would like to do this?
Well, the last time that we met, it was at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay,
And it
Uh,
was 6 in the afternoon, which is fine by us.
right, right. That would be like 4 in the UK, 6 in Greece. I
Mhm.
think that's probably what we're thinking. Yeah.
So could be a Tuesday in the beginning of the month and maybe a Saturday towards the end of the month, or maybe the third Saturday of the month. So
Okay.
there's going to be a circular, let's say, a steady communication of the group, let's say steady contact.
if we
Yes.
do if we do the third Saturday, it's going to be the following week that we meet on Tuesdays. So I would
Ah,
think maybe the fourth Saturday,
no, yeah,
which is
fourth.
in 2 weeks.
So yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, because it's the second Tuesday. Sometimes I keep forgetting that.
Hmm.
So yeah, the second and the fourth Saturday of the month.
Sounds good. Check with check with your
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
friends, your Euro
Yeah.
friends, okay?
Yeah.
And let us
Yeah.
know, and then we'd love to do. We're only too happy to do that for you.
Right.
So
How is everyone else feeling about it?
so that is Alexa's email, right? Alexa at ancan.org, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Comments from others? What are you feeling?
I like the Saturday idea because I will be back at work. And sometimes I don't get out of work. I'm Mountain Standard, and sometimes I don't get out of work till 6:30. So um, I don't work on Saturdays, so I think I'd show up. I with a reminder because I space sometimes.
For sure. Not that you space, but for sure I'll send you the reminder.
Well, let me just say on the reminders, if you're not getting reminders, everybody should on here should get a reminder. If we have your email address, then we send out the reminders automatically. So if somebody isn't getting a reminder, just send me your email address right now, put it in the chat window, and I'll make sure you get a reminder. But we send out the reminders usually 2 days before each meeting. And if we do have your email, but you're not seeing them, then you might need to whitelist us so that we're not going into your spam. So you just have to whitelist our domain at ancan.org. But but you should all be getting reminders. We hope you are.
They are, because they probably get it twice because I send them out as well.
Okay. All right. We're bombarding you.
Hmm. I get them. I send messages and I send emails, so they get it. They get it all.
Okay.
Richie good with that.
I'm on it.
The Rick and Richie show.
That's right. That's right. All
I
right,
think the
on.
benefit of doing it every like once a month Saturday, sometimes it's hard to remember if it's like the odd or even. So I think just the rhythm might be helpful, but we could kind of like gauge to see.
Yeah.
You just can't go out the night before, Clarissa.
Ah,
She loves to
yeah.
sleep. All right, Andre.
Okay.
All right, we got all hearts composed tonight. I think we had a great meeting. Anybody else have anything they want to add for tonight? All right. Um, as always, we're gonna keep all you guys in our thoughts and prayers. Stay encouraged, stay positive, no matter what these doctors say. This keep your faith, keep pressing forward, and keep fighting. That's the main thing. And we're gonna fight with you. Um, we're gonna fight with you. When you can't fight anymore, we'll be able to fight with you. So, thank all of you for coming on the meeting tonight. Looking forward to seeing you guys next month.
And we'll send the reminders out for Saturday's meeting.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Thank you,
Good
everyone.
night.
Bye.
Everybody, good
Good
night,
night.
good night.